Of TMAX projects of the federal government, where 2,000 youths are to be trained in 16 vocational skills. Ogun State Deputy Governor Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele gave this assurance while receiving the project team led by the Senior Special Assistant on Education Intervention by the President, Fela Banko-Limo, in our office in Okemoson, Abeokuta. The Deputy Governor used the occasion to call on the people to visit the portal of the project to register for the training. Matthew Showumi completes the story.
As part of the plan of the federal government to take 100 million people out of poverty, the TMAX project, where 2,000 youths are to be trained in 16 vocational schools, is taking off in the states, and the visit to the state government is to ensure the collaboration of the states. The state deputy governor, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, said the position of the states as the industrial capital and gateway to the country has created demands for human capital, which can only be filled by technical and vocational skills development of the youth.
So this is an extra step for us, which we're very happy and pleased that Ogun State is one of the pilot states to carry out this project. And I see this opportunity to call on all our youth in Ogun State who are desirous of learning one of these 16 trades that are going to be part of this scheme to register on this, so that they can have an opportunity to be one of the 2,000 lucky beneficiaries.
Special advisor to the state governor on technical and vocational education, Professor Sunday Odemuyiwa, said the project is within the focus of the current administration in the states.
This administration has been working very hard to ensure that our youths are taken off the street through vocational education. And just on Monday, we embarked on training 2,000 artisans across the state on employability skill.
Senior Special Assistant on Education Intervention to the federal government, Fela Banko-Limo, said this will help improve the life of the people and encourage the youth to make good use of the opportunity.
So we are kicking off in 7 states, Ogun is one of the states. So from tomorrow, 1st of September, the portal will be open for the next 2 weeks for people in Lagos and Ogun. Kaduna's portal will open next week, but now Lagos and Ogun opens tomorrow, 1st of September, for the next 2 weeks. www.tmax.org.ng.
Olemo also revealed that interested beneficiaries can start registration on the portal from the 1st of September this year. Matthew Showumi, OGTV News.
Wesley College of Art and Technology, an institution established for skill acquisition and entrepreneurial development, has been opened in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Performing the official commissioning, the governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, said the program is in tandem with the state mission to take millions of Ogun State youths out of poverty. Fatima Adegbayi has full details in this package.
Unveiling of an institution which will serve many purposes for skill acquisition, entrepreneurial development, which will encourage creativity, self-reliance, and actualization in the youth of Ogun State and by extension Nigeria. It is a moment to behold as this initiative is complementing what the current administration in Ogun State believes in and pursue every day. Representing the governor to appreciate the brain behind this is the Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele.
We are very pleased that there's a lot of attention in this space and that our youth will continue to benefit. And I want to seize this opportunity to invite youth in Ogun State to take advantage of all these laudable opportunities and these ventures that are here for them to get the requisite training, and we can then support them once they have the training to make sure that they are able to go on and have successful businesses and become employers of labor.
The wife of the governor of Ogun State, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, also joined in thanking the initiator as she assured of partnership for productive results.
Viable alternatives in the form of vocational training are needed and imperative. Not everyone will go to the 4 walls of university to study medicine, engineering, economics, etc., etc. I want to say for what you are doing to empower our people as we all look forward to the great testimonials that will come from this college.
The Commissioner for Industry, Trade and Investment, Mrs. Kike Lomo-Lunge, and the brain behind the institution, Otumba Wasiu Taiwo, were of the opinion that if an initiative like this can be replicated across the state, the youth will have something to fall back on.
Our dear state, Ogun State, being the largest industrial hub in Nigeria, is keen on upholding this our leading position, and therefore we welcome on board Wesley College of Arts and Technology to provide the highly sought after quality skilled labor gap needed by the numerous companies operating in our state.
If government can invest heavily on that value chain, we are going to generate so massive employment, and we are going to save so much foreign exchange for Nigeria. Because
Wesley College of Arts and Technology now has its main campus in Abeokuta, while its permanent site will be in Ilaro. The institution will have core advanced courses in fashion, tailoring, photography, cinematography, and leatherworks. Other courses include crafts and accessory design, textile design, graphic design, catering, and hotel management, among others.
Ajoshe Foundation, in collaboration with the Ogun State government, is poised to support the promotion of exclusive breastfeeding education across the state so as to increase the rate 20.95% to about 50% in 1 year. The wife of Ogun State Governor, who doubles as the convener of Ajoshe Foundation, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, reiterated this commitment during the commemoration of the 2022 World Breastfeeding Day. Ogun State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, alongside dignitaries present, advocated for the promotion of exclusive breastfeeding through commitment, concerted actions, and collaborations. Margaret Ogunlola was at Leslie Primary Health Center, Ilaro, in Yewa South local government area of the state, venue of the event. A report.
Though an ancient act, still, breastfeeding remains a foundation of life as it contributes to short and long-term health, good nutrition, and food security in emergency and non-emergency situations for babies. Not ignoring these and many more of the essence of breastfeeding, the wife of Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, took time out to celebrate the 2022 World Breastfeeding Week with the theme, Step Up for Breastfeeding, Educate and Support. Mrs. Abiodun said it is time to revisit professional obligations of health workers by prioritizing breastfeeding-friendly environments for mothers and babies. She further emphasized that breastfeeding is a human right and therefore should be made available to every baby as room service.
The Ogun State government is poised to support the promotion of breastfeeding education across the various health institutions, communities, and organizations. My foundation, the Ajoshe Foundation, will work with the state government to ensure that the EBR rate is improved from 20.95% to about 50% in 1 year.
Health-related dignitaries, including the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, members of spouses of Ogun State government functionaries, SOSFA, political functionaries, staffers of Yewa South local government area, health workers, among others, agreed that breastfeeding provides the most important developmental requirements for a child, as it contains all nutrients needed.
The way God has created it, the breast milk has nutrients, all the nutrients that that child is going to need for the first 6 months is in the breast milk, including water. You don't need to give the child any extra water when you breastfeed because it's made out of water.
Breastfeeding reduces the risk of ovarian cancer, less chance of developing urinary tract infection, less chance of blood volume flowing.
It protects children from diseases. It gives them immunity. And also, make them to be very, very brilliant.
There was a brief demonstration on the correct position to breastfeed, as cash prizes were given to well-fed babies. Food items were also distributed to nursing mothers present. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
The exclusive breastfeeding exercise is a week-long exercise. Still on health matters, Ogun State Ministry of Health has organized a 3-day training for its Health Research Ethics Committee members on protection of human participants and responsible conduct of research in Abeokuta. The training is to improve the knowledge and skills on how to access the science and ethics involved in the research proposals that investigators submit to committees and how to review protocols and provide constructive feedback. Tumininu Babashola has the details of our report.
To improve health status and ensure the well-being of the people of Ogun State, Health Research Committee members has been set up in the State Ministry of Health to further build the capacity of participants to understand the principles of health research. Being the first training for the committee members with the theme, how to review protocols and provide constructive feedbacks, they were reminded of the aims and objectives of the workshop and what is expected of them as researchers.
As a researcher, your main aim is that whatever research I am doing, I should get it to the table of the government to implement. So, and if you don't do politics at that level, push people like KUs, they push to those positions, whatever you have done, it will be on your table, and that's it, and let it go on there. That's wastage of time, money, and humans. As a researcher, your research is your concern, fine, but my primary concern is are the study participants protected? That's just all.
Dr. Kayode Oladende, the Permanent Secretary of Ogun State Ministry of Health and the chairman of the workshop, said the workshop is important and participants should make the good use of the opportunity.
This, of course, will stimulate activities in the health sector, such as research activities, because, of course, in the quest of the government to make sure that we have good health in the state, the government is so committed towards ensuring that right things are done, especially when it comes to the health of the citizens of Ogun State. And of course, if there are going to be researches, we have to be sure that those researches respect the rules of law.
The importance of research cannot be overemphasized. It is going to be very impactful. In fact, we can see that the participants too are getting more knowledgeable in ideas of research work.
The committee members were drawn from all sections of the Ogun State health sector, and this will go a long way at ensuring that prompt researches are being made to help government in its day-to-day activities. Public health concern is to research the future, and the training is important to ensure better understanding of the ethics, especially when human is involved, and ethics brings about human equity.
Still to come in the news, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo departs Abuja for the United States on Energy Transition Plan. The Bureau of Lands and Survey against hoarding files and other supporting documents that could hinder them from discharging their constitutional role of ensuring accountability and transparency in government finances and operations. Chairman House Committee on Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption, Honorable Musefiu Lamidi, issued the warning while taking on the Bureau's erstwhile Director General, Mr. B. Ismail, who had been re-invited for his failure to honor earlier invitation of the committee. Correspondent Kolawole Osho was there. His report is presented in this package.
In continuation of the consideration of 2015-2019 audit queries, the Assembly Committee on Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption, led by Honorable Musefiu Lamidi, has played host to the former Director General, Bureau of Lands and Survey, Mr. B. Ismail, who was invited by the committee to give an insight on the grey areas in financial infractions. Musefiu, in company of other members of the committee, explained that Honorable B. Ismail's appearance was to clarify infractions reported in the audit report of the Bureau for the period he served as Director General. The committee has again extended its invitation to the former Directors General of the Bureau, Mr. Wale Oshinowo, Jumoke Akinwumi, and Mr. B. Ismail, as well as former Surveyor General, Ken Salem Onoshose. The committee also invited former directors, lands services, finance and accounts, and the administration and supplies counterparts, including Mr. Okeshade Olufemi, Mr. Shobande Kolawole, Mr. Usman Ojelabi, Mr. Fatai Adeboyejo, and the present head of lands registry in the bureau, who served between 2015 to 2019, to appear before the Assembly Committee on Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption on Thursday, 15th September 2022 at 10 in the morning. The committee, which had earlier sent correspondences to the bureau requesting for the submission of some documents, were yet to be availed, directed the representative of the incumbent DG Lands and Survey and senior special assistant on legal in the bureau, Barrister Akonde Emmanuel, to avail the committee with relevant documents to aid its assignments.
We are interested in some files, especially the one on Redeemer University. I want to warn you, Stanley, that it has been part of your files to be missing always. We are not going to take it. Majority of career officers, they are going to face the missing this time around.
Musefiu stated further that the bureau is expected to submit the revenue returns between 2015 and 2019, bank inflows and outflows, reconciliation statements, 11 bags of revenue ledger, and the ICMA manifest for the period under review. Honorable Lamidi explained that the exercise is not a personal vendetta, nor for witch hunting as against some online publications.
Formal and informal businesses in Abeokuta local government area are getting a boost with the improved state of the road at Aton, Lusada and Agbara. The governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, has been working his talk by not only improving on infrastructure across the state, but also completing all abandoned projects left by his predecessor. Fowora Adesanwo has the update on the refix of Aton, Lusada, Agbara, one of such projects.
A beehive of activities and a breakaway from its dull and deserted past. Economic activities in Aton, Lusada and Agbara within formal and informal circle is now like any typical state capital.
We appreciate God for our governor who is working to fix this road.
Nígbà kan ọ̀nà yóò dá ṣùgbọ́n a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run torí pé Ọlọ́run ti fún wọn ṣe. Ẹ wí pé lórí ọ̀nà àbí lílọ bíbọ̀ sá lórí ọ̀nà wa.
On this road, we pray to God to support the government to complete the projects.
Kó má pín wọn nípa kó lè bá yanjú ọ̀nà yìí délẹ̀.
Aton, Lusada and Agbara are scores of kilometers away from Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, but business activities have improved tremendously because the Axis is a business route linking Lagos, Badagry, Benin Republic, and Ogun State.
Things are now better than before.
The government is working its talk on providing lasting and modern infrastructure to the people, and the people are happy about it.
We are all happy. We hope it will not be abandoned. We thank God for this surprise. God will bless the government.
Along Aton, Lusada, Agbara Road, which is being fast-tracked for completion, a massive bridge is under construction, culverts are being constructed, and drainages have been fixed, as well as road median to give the road a long span.
Currently, we're in the west, along the Aton, Lusada, Agbara Road. Where we're standing right now is the new bridge under construction. It's a 3-span bridge over the river there. So right now the contractor is casting they finished the abutment work on both sides. If you look behind me, you see the reinforcement for the pier table or the splint. The precast gathers or the beam for the bridge is being cast fabricated in Ibadan right now. So that at that location they can age properly. The concrete will be able to develop the actual strength needed, which is C40. And on this side, those are the precast slab that will be placed on the precast beam, so they can cast the deck. So the work that has been done on the bridge is, I would say more than 70% done.
The road, no doubt, will be a dual carriageway. As expected, the project may be done in phases. Natives, traders, transporters and commuters say the project should continue unstopped because of its long history of abandonment, even with some hangars constructed for an overhead bridge for years.
We have been seeing dividends of democracy in our area from the governor.
This woman is visiting the area for the first time. She claims to be from somewhere in Lagos metropolis.
The place is okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's a very good road now.
All in all, fewer than 3 construction groups were sighted between Ilaro and Owode before Aton Agbara Lusada project site by this crew. This is an indication that the government of Ogun State is not only providing infrastructure to its cities, but also to some remote areas across the 20 local government areas of Ogun State. Adefowora Adesanwo, OGTV News.
Freelance Independent Broadcasters Association of Nigeria, FIBAN Ogun State Chapter, has given an award of recognition to the Secretary to the Ogun State Government, Mr. Tokunbo Talabi. Presenting the award to the SSG in his office in Okemoson, Abeokuta, former chairman, Ogun FIBAN, Mr. Akinyemi Olatoye, said the award was predicated upon the invaluable contributions of the SSG to the landmark achievement of the Prince Dapo Abiodun-led administration. Olatoye said the administration had an invaluable and credible person to serve as the secretary to the government, and having considered his pragmatism and responsiveness to easing governance for the governor and the government as his engine room, FIBAN deemed it fit to encourage the SSG to keep giving his best towards improving the lives of the people and humanity through the machinery of government. The recipient of the award, the secretary to the state government, said he was usually wary of taking awards from people, especially when it does not have direct bearing on what he does. Talabi said he appreciates the award of the most outstanding personality of the year given to his office, noting that he reckoned with FIBAN because the association is people-oriented. In a bid to protect the image of government, Ogun State Head of Service, Dr. Nofiu Aigoro, said information management in the ministries, departments and agencies should be done with professionalism and utmost attention. Aigoro said this in Abeokuta while declaring open a 2-day training for information officers organized by the Bureau of Establishments and Training with the theme Information Management in the New World Order. The head of service noted that the ethics and guidelines on information dissemination should be properly followed to guide against misconceptions that could cause chaos in the society, adding that regular capacity building on effective information management is essential for efficient service delivery.
We create the information room division with the accounting officer. I think that clear with the accounting officer of your entities before you release any information. I'm speaking from experience, where information are given out and the government is now putting a very tight corner trying to see what we can do to
even outright Abeokuta has to be proper. But if you show the discretion of the officers concerned, show some discretion and pair with the accounting officer or the commissioner in that, or the political head of that agency, there will be better outcome.
Dr. Igoro added that human capacity development had continued to be a major focus of the present administration, with efforts to sustain the training and retraining of workers, charging information officers to be proactive and abide by the civil service rules and regulations in the discharge of their duties. Earlier in our address, the Permanent Secretary, Bureau of Establishments and Training, Mrs. Lydia Fajombo, applauded Governor Dapo Abiodun for continuous approval of training for all cadres in the state workforce to enable them to be more productive. Her counterpart in the Ministry of Information and Strategy, Alhaji Wahid Adeshina, submitted that capacity building for information officers will make them ready for the never-ending intricacies of information management in the ever-evolving world. In his lecture on roles of information officers and information management in the 21st century public service, the resource person, Professor Jendele Humbo, said information management strategy should be policy-driven, urging information officers to make use of data and figure appropriately in their reportage and combine skills and tools to effectively carry out their jobs. The educational development of youths should be made paramount for meaningful growth of any nation. This was the view of Honorable Afolabi Afuakwe during the distribution of writing materials to beneficiaries of the free summer coaching, which he facilitated. Ayodeji Oluwumi completes the report.
The free summer lesson is an initiative of Honorable Afolabi Afuakwe as a way of giving back to the society, most especially the young ones.
I've been a lecturer all through my life, and imparting knowledge is part of my life. I thought the only way we can start contributing to student unrest, to our students not engaging in unproductive activity, to get them engaged.
Afuakwe, who is the candidate of the All Progressive Congress, APC, for Abeokuta South Federal Constituency, said the reason behind this initiative is not politically driven, as everyone of school age is welcomed, as he assured continuation of the program.
It's not only that, we're also contemplating having an exam for them. Whoever that perform excellently well within our limited resources, let's say how we can monitor that person, even to university level, so we'll be able to give back to the society.
Beneficiaries of the summer coaching were full of appreciation to Honorable Afuakwe for such laudable initiative.
Many of us here, not all of us can afford to go to summer coaching where they paid for it, but this as a free of charge is a privilege.
And I would like to appreciate him because I've never experienced this summer lesson. I want to say a very big thanks to him, and I pray that may Almighty Allah continue to bless him, continue to make him greater and higher.
Thereafter, writing materials were then distributed to beneficiaries. Ayodeji Oluwumi, OGTV News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo Wednesday departed Abuja for the United States of America to seek global partnerships and support for Nigeria's recently launched energy transition plan. This was contained in a statement signed by Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Laolu Akonde, on Wednesday. Osinbajo leads Nigeria's Energy Transition Implementation Working Group on the U.S. mission, with meetings starting from September 1, 2022, to promote the plan and secure global support from the U.S. government, the private sector, and other development partners. In the statement titled, Osinbajo Travels to the United States, Nigeria's Energy Transition Plan on the Agenda, Osinbajo will meet U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, U.S. Secretary of Energy Jennifer Granholm, Secretary of Treasury Janet Yellen, and President of World Bank Group David Malpass, among others, while away. The media reports that Nigeria's Energy Transition Plan was officially launched on August 24, 2022 at a global virtual event. The homegrown strategy, which was developed for the attainment of 2060 net zero emissions, 6 commitment in 5 critical sectors: power, cooking, oil and gas, transport, and industry. Nigeria needs $410 billion to deliver the transition plan by 2060. The Director General, National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NIDS, Professor Abubakar Suleiman, has advocated African solution to African problems, learning from peculiarities of the region, with the legislative arm taking the lead role in stabilizing the continent through legislations. This was when the Oromia Regional Council of Ethiopia visited the institute in Abuja. Ethiopia, the second largest country next to Nigeria on the continent, shares similar challenges. These similarities demand shared knowledge of approaches in tackling them.
How the institution is supporting that with the legislative organ, in what way, that means related again with conflict, that means a resolution.
Expose the members of the Oromia Regional Parliament to hedge this bottom-up mediation and dialogue approach through field experiences.
Director General NIDS, Abubakar Suleiman, told the Ethiopian Parliament of its role in stabilizing the country through legislations. Some of the approaches in Nigeria he enumerated are the Anti-Small Arms Proliferation Bill, the Civil Defense Bill, the Police Service Reform Bill, and the Terrorism Prevention Bill, among others.
Bill that is on ground now, it has passed the House of Rep, waiting for the Senate for their concurrence. That bill is known as Armed Forces Amendment Bill.
Speaker, Oromia Regional Council, through an interpreter, acknowledged the gains from the visit.
Listen back to home, and will strengthen the collaboration between our council, the member of the parliaments, and the community at large, and will again try to strengthen the relationship between Ethiopia in general and Oromia in particular, and that of the Nigerian government.
The Oromia Regional Council is the largest parliament in Ethiopia with 537 seats. The Airline Operators of Nigeria, AON, has expressed a sadness over accusations of defrauding government with over 46 billion naira debts, saying that airlines globally owe debts and Nigeria is not an exception. The AON also advised its members with bad debts to engage the agencies and put forward repayment plans immediately. Their reaction is coming against the backdrop of the stakeholders meeting on Tuesday, where it was disclosed that they owe the aviation agencies, which include the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, and Nigeria Airspace Management Agency, NAMA. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has urged state-owned universities to resume academic activities, describing the total and indefinite strike declared by the Academic Staff Union of Universities as unpatriotic and wicked. NANS President Sunday Asefon stated this in a statement on Wednesday sent to a television station. Asefon alleged that the decision to extend industrial action after 6 months was easy for ASU because they keep employment at various private universities around the country. He said the association has taken the time to review the decision of ASU to declare an indefinite strike after the ongoing 6-month strike. We consider the decision not only unpatriotic, unnecessary, but wicked, and definitely not in the interest of our nation nor the tertiary education system in Nigeria. A Plateau State High Court sitting in Jos has fixed September 2, 2022 to deliver its final judgment in a suit filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, against a former governor of the state, Jonah Jang, over an alleged 6.3 billion naira fraud. A member of the ex-military officer's defense team, Sunday Ode, confirmed the development on Wednesday. Ode said there is confirmation from the court that Honorable Justice Christy Dapup has fixed Friday, September 2nd, 2022 for judgment in the case. There is no problem with the date, according to him, because it is the prerogative of the judge to give a date to deliver a judgment whenever Her Lordship finishes writing a judgment. Nigerian Red Cross Society Kano State Branch has confirmed that one person died at the hospital among the 9 victims so far rescued alive after the collapse of the 3-story building at Beirut GSM Market on Tuesday evening. The secretary of the branch, Musa Abdullah, who confirmed the death, however, said that the staff of Kano Electricity Distribution Company had also lost his life in the disaster. Similarly, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has confirmed that one person died among the 8 rescued victims that were taken to Murtala Muhammad Specialist Hospital. In a statement issued by Manzo Ezekiel, head NEMA Press Unit Abuja, said so far, as of 9:30 p.m. Tuesday night, 8 persons have been rescued and taken to Murtala Muhammad Specialist Hospital. A ravaging flash flood has destroyed no fewer than 1,000 houses in at least 6 local government areas in Kebbi State. The affected local council areas are Benin Kebbi, Jega, Shaga, Koko Beshe, Gaski, and Arewa. According to the acting executive director of Kebbi State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, Alhaji Abbas Rabiu Kamba, in Jega local government, at least 300 houses were washed away by the flash flood and 2 persons were killed in Shanga local government, and at least 307 houses were razed in Yarbeze, Dugu, Shohowa, Tunga, Shamia, and Hundege villages. He explained that undisclosed number of flooded houses in Arewa and Gaski local governments were reported to the agency by the victims. You're watching OGTV News. Simiat Abaru is set to serve the latest reports and business news segment. Stay with us.
Now to the business news. The federal government has projected an average of 120 trillion naira as consumption expenditure by Nigerians, on which value-added tax will be charged between 2023 and 2025. This is according to the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper developed by the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. According to the report, consumption expenditure on which VAT will be charged will likely increase from an average of 35 trillion naira in 2023 to 40 trillion naira in 2024 and 45 trillion naira in 2025 after adjusting for exemptions, zero-rated items and companies whose turnover falls below the 25 million naira threshold. This means that the consumption expenditure in the 3-year period will stand at 120 trillion naira. The federal government says Nigeria spent $6 billion on the importation of wheat into the country between 2016 and 2020, a period of 5 years. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Mahmoud Abubakar disclosed this at the stakeholders validation workshop of the National Wheat Strategy document in Abuja. He stated that with the growing population of consumption rate of wheat and its product, Nigeria had no option than to boost its productivity to meet the country's increasing demand. Nigeria's manufacturing sector has continued to navigate through hard times as the nominal GDP growth of the industry in the second quarter of 2022 was recorded at 5.21% on a year-on-year basis, according to the Nigerian Gross Domestic Product Report published by the National Bureau of Statistics. This was 33.12% point lower than the figure recorded in the corresponding period of 2021. The report read, in part, nominal GDP growth of the manufacturing sector in the second quarter of 2022 was recorded at 5.21% year-on-year, 33.12% points lower than the figure recorded in the corresponding period of 2021 and 6.51% points lower than the preceding quarter figure of 11.72%. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has stated that Nigeria's high inflation would further reduce the value of the naira as imported products become more expensive. This was disclosed by Dr. Mamegwo Mo, a member of CBN's Monetary Policy Committee. Despite multiple interest rate hikes by the CBN, inflation continues to rise. Nigeria's current inflation rate for July 2022 rose to a 17-year high of 19.64% from 18.6% recorded in the previous month of June 2022. The Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation Limited will have the first right of refusal to supply the Dangote refinery with about 300,000 barrels of crude oil per day for the next 20 years. The Group Chief Executive Officer, NNPC Limited, Mele Kyari, disclosed this to journalists when he appeared at the 49th session of the State House Ministerial Briefing organized by the Presidential Communications Team at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The supply of 300,000 per day in 20 years brings the total supply to 2.1 trillion by the NNPC. According to him, the corporation had succeeded in locking down the huge supply as part of the federal government means of guaranteeing sufficient petroleum product supply for Nigeria. And finally, the Nigerian Communications Commission has set $0.10 as the new fixed international termination rate for voice services paid by overseas telecom carriers for ending international calls on local networks in Nigeria. The ITR pertains to the cost of bringing call traffic into Nigeria, and it was increased from the $0.045 initially presented in December last year as a floor price. The Commission said the new rate, which would take effect September 1, 2022, was a fixed rate for ITR services. It added that international operators were mandated to pay local operations in dollars. That's it on Business News Tonight. Many thanks for watching. Back to Tunji for the segment of the news.